Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to today's Link to the Past Randomizer 2019 tournament match. This is going to be a game of the series between Buane and Jet082. Jet082 last night took a game off of Buane, and Buane has opted to choose swordless, or not swordless, a sword. And Professor Renderer joining me is Karaoke. How are you doing today?
I am doing quite well. So, this matchup has had a little bit of history this week, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has been a really interesting week so far, because the first game, Buane and Jet tied by the frame, and then in game 2, Jet took the match after a change in GT routing that caused Jet to be in the lead and carry that all the way through to the end of the game.
Yeah, I commentated the first match, and that was amazing. If you have not seen their Game 1, or Game 1A, we'll also call it, please go watch that match. It was quite amazing.
And
and then watch the second match.
And we're going green, green, green right now. We start both players starting in the sanctuary. Giving a little heart piece.
But yeah, their second match was also very close and had a lot of similarities to their first one, where they had a very strong loadout of items, where they had Butter Sword, Red Mail, they had Silvers in the second game. So it'll be interesting to see, considering they start with the Assured Sword here, what the loadout's going to be, I think. Are they going to come out fully equipped as of last couple of matches, or are we going to get maybe, Master Sword Silverless by the end?
We'll have to see where that lands up as we have an immediate route divergence. Buane heading into the Lost Woods while Jet is going to check out the Lumberjack ledge.
Both of them hitting up a poultry, and 20 rupee, 420 rupee, it's 80 rupees math. Poultry, they're a very good tree to start off with. Get that money early for things like Kakariko Village or Zora. Oh, blue mail already, here we go!
This is a good start. Good start. Jet also finding out that there's only a heart piece on Lumberjack Ledge, so we're not going to kill Aga 1 just for a piece of heart. Buane going to go for another route divergence and going to check out Link's house. Going to farm up bombs from the south side. Going to route from bottom to top. Jet also getting the blue mail.
Taking a peek at the race game here. And 10 bombs. I think that's the 10 bomb Uncle Pack, actually.
Yeah, that is a 10 bomb pack, and I'm surprised that Buane decided not to go and grab that, because it's free access to some bombs.
Might be hoping that some of the other Kakariko checks that take less time will get some bombs. But we'll see. Jet's being the first one here in Kakariko Village using their one bomb. See, there's 3 right there. They're fine. Use their one bomb to bomb the inside of the Thieves' Hut there. Ooh, lamp.
And, yeah, already a lamp, so we're only like one piece away from our Aga access.
No, true. With the amount of money they have, it is faster just to pop in and spend a little bit of it to buy bombs and waste, quote-unquote, waste the 10 seconds, 15 seconds to go through race game and all that.
That is true. Here's our map check.
2 crystals, 1 pendant. So it looked like the crystal 6 was over in Eastern Palace, another crystal up on Tower Hera, and Desert Palace is a pendant. Green pendant, in fact.
So far, not a whole lot in Kakariko outside of the lamp.
Lots of money. Jet's already at 850 rupees. Oh, another sword.
So there's access to Aga Tower.
Interesting seeing the routing differences, how they basically did complete opposite paths through Kakariko. Buane checking the first area that Jet checked here, and Jet just heading off to the southern area to do the library and race game checks.
Jet will have information about the 10 bomb pack. Of course, since Jet already has bombs, like plenty of bombs, doesn't have to worry about grabbing that off the race game. And Buane heading for the South Shore checks.
Jet heading the opposite direction and going towards the castle escape. Ooh, we
There's
got
our
lift
first
power.
glove. Yep. There's our first glove within the dam. And another set of 300 rupees in the sunken treasure. We've got plenty of money to worry about in the entire seed. At least take care of everything in the entire seed. And Jack gonna get more money off of the 80 rupees from the tier, I think 1 or 3 tier pull. One of those. Buane making the early Agina check.
Yeah, very interesting heading this way for the one item versus heading the usual way of the other direction to the South Shore checks and going over to Mini Moldorm and Ice Rod Cave. And just a green rupee for his trouble. But at least it's not an orphan location.
Yeah. It's some runners like to go and do Agina before anything else, and just so that they don't have to worry about orphaning a check that could potentially have something of value. Not in the case of this seed, but in general. Buane making the early back of escape check here. Dark Cross Key, a hook shot, and 10 arrows, and Ice Rod in the front of escape. Buane is opting to go and check out the Dark Cross with that lamp in hand. All Dark Runes are in logic. Buane is going to set up, or not Buane, Jet is going to set up for a Death Warp after going to check out what's on Zelda's cell. Only a heart piece, or a heart container. That's unfortunate.
At least it wasn't the Sanctuary Heart, because after setting up the Death Warp and then pulling the Sanctuary Heart, or say like your fourth heart piece and getting a refill or something like that, it's always annoying. I've seen that happen. But Buane has some, extra movement power here, and gonna have an easy time in the Mini Moldorm Cave with that hook shot.
Yeah, the hook shot is nice to have for early, very quick bursts of movement whenever you have a spot to hook onto something, as Buane heading over to Mini Moldorm Cave.
I guess he's got sword beams because he got full health, so that works too. It's a nice long range weapon. All right, what's the mini Moldrum Cave have for us today? Nothing, 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 and a bottle.
Cicada is now in play, and that is also a green potion. Jet gonna go and grab the gloves out of the dam as Buane heading over to Ice Rod Cave. And 50 rupees. Wayne looks like they want to go up the mountain with that hookshot and glove in hand.
Oh yeah. They didn't check the Aga ledge item here yet, so gonna do that just because they see that, oh, I got Master Sword and Lamp. Maybe I should check that and make sure I don't need to make an Aghanim play now, and okay, not gonna do that just yet. You never know, there still could be something that's happened a lot of matches recently, including their first match, where you end up having to do Aghanim 1 anyway to get into Dark World.
Yeah, that's like the one of few reasons why you would ever want to go to Aga 1. Either the siege forces you to do so, just to get to Dark World Act, to get to the Dark World, or there's a important item on top of Lumberjack Ledge. And yeah, Buane's going to go and rescue the old man, and go and bring that all the way over to Mountain. Do the East Step Mountain checks. Won't have access to Tower Hera just yet. And nothing on top or inside of Spectacle Rock. Jet getting the hook shot out of the back of Escape, and then Buane and going over to East Def Mountain, going to head for Paradox Cave. Right. Bottom of Paradox Cave has flippers and the Tempered Sword.
Very good. That's like two nice items to see next to each other, you know, in that cave there. And are we really gonna get all four swords in Light World again here? Is this gonna be a thing?
We're already at the 3 swords already, and we already got one at the start of the game. And there's a mirror.
Alright, that's nice. Death Mountain paying off.
Very much so. Now, Buane does have access to Tower of Hera, but doesn't have access to it from this side. We'll have to save and quit in order to get to Tower of Hera. Ten arrows on top of the floating islands, and Buane gonna go for Spiral Cave. Of course, without the boots, this is very slow and arduous. Very, very tedious too, because you have to keep walking, then slash your sword at the enemies, and so on and so on.
Yeah, gonna hit up Hera here as expected, and probably best for pathing in progress. As something I always like to say is always be clearing, always be making progress in the seed. You can use that time when you're doing something mindless, like walking through a simple dungeon like Tower of Hera, to think of what your next steps are going to be.
Now with the now with the lamp in hand, this is pretty. You can actually get to the everything inside of you can get everything within Tower of Hera. And we got a match check here.
I saw that Turtle Rock was a crystal, which is important because Buane has not done front half of Escape to get that ice rod. So that's a location Buane will have to eventually double back to pick up that item, and we'll see how long that takes, I suppose. Or, you know, that might be next stop, depending on what gets found in Tower of Hera here.
There's the big key. Don't have to go over to the back go to the Hera basement just yet.
Whoops!
Not a big deal. You just climb up the stairs. Doesn't a little annoying to climb up, but it's not bad.
Pointing out that Pod and Swamp are the other two pendant dungeons. That is very familiar. Pendant Swamp is always a iffy thing you see. It's a very item-dense dungeon, but do you really want to go through the entire thing when it's just a pendant and not the green one in this case?
There's our first item, and that is a heart container. So the second item is either on Moldorm or the Hera basement. Yikes, that
was quick.
Yeah, that was quick.
Moldorm 1, Buane 0.
And there is an item in the Hera basement, while Buane does draw first blood at 1731 or 32. And Buane, seeing that there is a second item within the Hera basement, goes and it's gonna go down and grab that right now. Alright, Jet goes up to fight Moldorm as Buane gonna go and check out the air basements for the second item, and that is another heart container.
Alright, Buane making their save and quit down towards starting house and heading over east. East? No, south. Okay, we're doing flip-flop checks here.
And
Ooh, there's a book.
Book of Medora locked behind the mirror, which we already have access to. Well, we don't have access. We have the mirror. We just need to get the Moon Pearl. And that will do it. Buane gonna head over to the man underneath the bridge. And a heart piece. And Buane gonna go over and check out the Zora area.
Alright, there's the red tunic. Now where's the butter sword? Come on, just load these guys up again.
Because of course. And
Oh.
there's the Moon Pearl.
Yep, there it is.
That does mean Agate Darkhold is now in play. Alright, go and check out Zora. What does he have for us today? Hey, he loves us.
Yeah, just decided to cough up his heart for us. Thanks, buddy.
And to answer a question, chat, the ice rod is in the boomerang chest at the front of Escape.
And I think Buane might be heading there now.
Yep, that's exactly what Buane's going to be doing. I think his intention now is he wants to go and do Escape last, so that way he can do Aga right away after this.
Now, neither racer has gone over to the Eastern Palace area to check out, you know, what items are available in Eastern Palace and also in Trashwala's closet. So, you know, what if there's an item over there? We'll see. I might have a feeling that maybe Jet might go there next, just to get those checks out of the way so that he doesn't end up doing a possibly unnecessary Aghanim. We'll see, that might be, you know, that might be the play. Buane might, quote-unquote, gamble clearing Aghanim to get into that part of the Dark World, while Jet goes over to Eastern Palace, and Eastern Palace is nothing, and Buane went the right way. Or it could be the flip-flop. That is the beauty of Rando.
Yeah, for all we know, the hammer could also be in Eastern Palace, and Buane might just say, "Hey, let's just go and do Aga," and Jet might just say, "Okay, let's go to Eastern instead and find the hammer there."
Because no one likes to do Aghanim 1 if they don't have to. It's a time sink. There's no treasure in the climb up there. It's pretty mindless, boring, nah. The boss takes a long time, etc., etc. And if it's not necessary, then of course, why do it? So Jet, checking Shroshwala's closet out here.
What's Quake?
Quake medallion, that might be necessary later.
Yeah, it looks like Buane is going to make that Aga play. And Jet's going to do Bowless Eastern. There's our first item that's 10 arrows.
Alright, Eastern, you're looking a little dry right now.
Yeah. It looks like Buane might be actually having the advantage here, considering that he left Eastern area alone. And that does mean that it's possible that Buane made the right decision to go and do Aga 1 while he had the chance to. So, the way the Aga fight works is that Aga will fire a preset number of blue balls, so 0 from 15 gets your guess in chats. I personally say 3 because it's always 3. The pattern works as follows. The first attack will always be... Oh, the flute. Nice.
That's okay.
But the first attack will always be a normal energy ball attack. Attacks 2, 3, and 4 will either be an energy attack or a blue ball attack, which does nothing, as seen here. And the 5th attack will always be a lightning attack, and the process resumes until you got the 6 hits in onto Aga 1. So far, no luck.
Buane's too busy playing music to care about taking damage from the lightning right now.
Okay, so now we got some attacks going. Jet activating the flute.
Jet's also going to be able to check Sick Kid here. Kind of a nice idea of waiting to do that until he had to come back to Kakariko anyway. And, oh, it's just 20 rupees, never mind.
And there was actually 3 boo balls. Just the first attack being not too kind. Jet making that Aga play right now, since that did eliminate everything that we could do.
Yep, that's it, and Jet's gonna have to make a double dip into Eastern eventually once that bow is found. So a little bit of time lost there. Buane's only gonna do it one time through, and, you know... I was gonna say possibly, you know, back, what do you call it? Piggyback it on Pod, assuming, you know, he does go into Pod and get some items in there. Don't know if he'll beat it, just because it is a pendant dungeon again.
And Buane heading over to the Northern Dark World and going over to Graveyard Ledge.
A very early check of this frequently orphaned location. I think that's a good thing. Do it while you're in this pyramid northern area. Get it out of the way. Half magic, that's comfy.
Yeah, nice quality of life item.
And I guess thinking about it, Eastern could still be a forced double dip if, like, Bo is in Mire or something stupid like that.
Yeah, that can happen. And Bumper Cave only has 20 rupees. And Buane making the early Skull Woods play.
Might as well, since you're walking through the area, and sometimes these sort of overworldy type checks in the front half of the dungeon do hold an item. And after that, I'm pretty sure that Buane's probably gonna continue heading south and go into Village Outcasts and Thieves Town type area.
And
Meanwhile,
Jet's
Jet's heading to Aga.
Yep. Jet is going to do Aga 1. He will also get the same amount of blue balls that Buane did get, because it is seeded. Hard container to start things off in Skull Woods in terms of items. Up for a gamble, hoping not to get soft locked here. Okay, finds the key, but it's one of them. Okay, we're good.
And that's it for Skull Woods, because we got a lot of keys in the front there. So, heading out into the Village of Outcasts area. This very item-dense location, just like its Light World counterpart. So we'll see if that, you know, valuable progression is in here, or if we're going to be looking for a little while longer. And I bet Buane's going to clear Thieves Town out at this point. Might clear Thieves Town out at this point. I always forgot about that, the big chest at the bottom might have an item in it, and it's locked by hammer, and we don't know where that hammer is yet.
Yeah, and actually, as I thought about it, Skull Wars key logic would assume that even if Buane had found a key on that first key or something like that, there would have been 2 keys in that drop down anyway. So that wasn't a big gamble. I'm not really good at key logic, so. ₹50 in the brewery.
And meanwhile,
bomb.
Yeah, nothing in village area, huh?
Yeah, nothing in the village area.
Jet, on the other hand, in pod, going through this bottom area here. We're gonna see it? Yep, we got ourselves a potion glitch. So what that does there is you drink the potion in the hallway before there to skew the camera and kind of lock it on yourself so that when you walk into the next room you can scroll the enemies off screen, and because the game doesn't see the enemies anymore, it thinks they're dead and will open the door, and that is how you break logic of pod here when it thinks you need the bow to get through that area.
And you have to be moving within that first hallway, the hallway before the mimic room, in order for the glitch to even work.
And Buane is heading deeper into Thieves Town. We'll to keep item count here to see if there's going to be anything of worth in that large chest that it can't access right now.
Sunroof not having anything, just a piece of heart. Buane gotta go and rescue the maiden.
Just a compass in her... I think in her chest. I think we've only found... Has it been 1 item in Thieves Town so far? It's either 1 or 2.
It has to be 2 at this point.
Right. Math makes it work out that way.
So meaning that there's now... There has been an item on blind, and then 1 in the Thieves Town big chest, which is locked behind the hammer. excellent fights for Buane.
Just more hearts, more love, and a crystal. Jet finding Bombos in Palace of Darkness there as well. Could be important. That could be your Ice Palace entry key once they get the lift upgrade.
And Jet gonna go and do Catfish. While Buane is going to make their way over to the dig game.
Now, if there were 3 items before blind, then I guess we're good in Thieves Town then, so...
Catfish only having 20 rupees.
And Dig Game only having 20 rupees.
A lot of digs for those 20 rupees. And Buane heading over to K45. Gonna go Stumpy, and then more likely than not, head over to Hype Cave, or as I personally call it, Cave 73.
Interesting seeing these south checks without a little friend following you. Because usually runners try to combine the unlockable chest and the blacksmith.
There's the
butter
sword
sword.
already.
Yeah, they're loaded again. I didn't realize that Buane picked up a shovel somewhere, so there's some 10 arrows in the ground, nothing important. But yeah, interesting, having to do these checks without either the Frogsmith or the chest or someone following you around, because we don't have a secondary lift power yet. We can't lift big things.
Yeah, and the shovel was found within the first couple chests in Thieves Town, or at least the first item in Thieves Town.
Alright, that was the first item in Thieves Town. I dig it.
Actually, I know. I also saw Burna there too.
Yes. That's why I think I noticed someone in chat said that that Thieves Town is fully cleared, because there's been enough items.
Okay. Yeah.
Hype Cave. Nope.
Cave 73 changed its name like normal.
Just leave a bomb there on the one chest that kind of had something, but our runners don't really need money anymore.
Yeah, Cave 73 retains its name as Cave 73 for today.
A smart move here. Buane gonna go pick up that book from the island down here. Lake Hylia Island. That's what that lake's called.
Yeah, Lake Hylia Island. Yeah, the name of Cave 73 comes from the same cave, same map that Cave 45 got its name from, which is Ian Albert's map.
Alright, so we're hitting that 45-minute mark, and Jet's doing Skullwoods like Buane did earlier, and Buane is doing kind of smart, combining the Eastern Overworld checks along with a Palace of Darkness dip. I want to see if he dips Eastern Palace at this point as well. I don't know if he'll do that. Interesting.
The only thing that would be in Swamp at that point would have been just the first item before having to hammer the pegs to get into Swamp House proper.
Yeah, oh, he got hit and the monkey ran away because he doesn't think you're strong enough. Gotta go. Good thing, the runners do have a lot of money, because I have seen it happen where there's not a lot of money and you lose the monkey and you don't have enough money to pay.
Yeah, I've seen that happen before, too. In case of this seed, we have plenty of money, so we don't have to worry about having to be running out of money here.
So at this moment, just going by Buane's loadout, because it's going to be pretty close to Jets here as soon as they pick up Bombos later in pod here. We think in Desert Palace is going to be the next play.
I believe so. And also I also think so because you can run in Ether tablets, or Bombos tablet, actually, while you're over there anyway.
Yeah, because if looking at the other dungeons we have so far, we can't clear Eastern because we don't have a bow, and from Jet going in there earlier, we know there's nothing in the front half. Desert Palace is openable and clearable. Just from the old front end, the usual front entrance where you have the book and stuff, no back entrance this time. Yeah, no back entrance for Buane, because Buane doesn't have flute. I'm like mathing things out here. Pod isn't clearable. Swamp Palace, you can only get to the first little bit in because we need hammer. Skullwoods isn't finishable, and they've already cleared the first front half bit. Can't get into Ice Palace. Can't get into Turtle Rock because we need the Cane of Samaria.
And we can't get into Mire because we would need the Titans.
Yes, because you need I always forget that portal, you need to lift it, and I think I've seen some runners forget that as well, where they flute over to that area and try to lift the block and it don't lift, and it's like, oh, oops. Because they'd be so late in the seed and don't have lift power yet. So yeah, front entrance of Desert looks like to be the next most logical play, if possibly the only actual logical play going on commentator no mode here. I think all three races so far between these runners have had very late boots.
That has been true. And in terms of items on Ped, Fire Rod, Samaria, and potentially another bow could be on the pedestal, but this is only in the event that GT does have a bow in there. And to answer a question in chat, the flute was found in Eastern Palace.
And for those who came in late, and I said that this is game 3, yes, this is game 3 because their game 1A, was a tie. Pretty much down to the frame. So they ran back. That game is game Game 2/Game 1B yesterday night, I believe, and Jet took that one as the first win.
Yes, Jet did take that Game 1B after a decision in GT routing for the big key. Alright, so Buane will get the flute here.
So Buane is doing the double dip pod Eastern here. I mean, yeah, you're over there, it makes sense. You never know if something could have been found there that your opponent got and is, racing on way ahead of you, something like your second lift upgrade or your hammer. So unfortunately, no time saved for Buane by not having to double dip Eastern. But again, we don't know if this might be a forced double dip for some reason. There might be some nutty logic here where you have to go clear somewhere else to find your bow.
So as Buane and Jets are doing the same checks that both of them have already done, I feel that as soon as Buane gets the flute, there is a big incentive to go and do Desert Palace. That or route in Desert Palace in with the Bombos tablet. But since Buane's already far away from that location, I feel like the check over to Desert without Bombos tablet would be beneficial, as Buane could just flute over to 8, and he'd be good.
And plus, could always check Bombos tablet later down the line, assuming it don't have your progression on it, when you're doing your Smith and your purple chest. So it's not a completely orphaned location without doing it from Eastern. I mean, Desert.
Yeah.
So.
Buane was debating on whether or not he would want to go up and spawn the pyramid, or go and just go over this, save going to the sanctuary, and decided to spawn the pyramid.
Yeah, this is a long walk without your hammer or a lift upgrade.
Alright, Buane's gonna do the flute activation auditory. Now, Buane has the duck, which may or may not be untitled.
And back into the Dark World as we continue to march on.
Jet's gonna make the the decision to get the book from off of Lake Hylia Island, and Jet is going to do the Desert Palace play.
Yeah, fluting over the. Oh, there they are! Alright. Desert has progression. There we go. So, Jet taking the flute option that we were talking about for heading over to Desert, while Buane is did the Dark World loop around to be able to check the Bombos tablet as well. A little bit too far over there. Have to do that over again. Yeah, we could have known this a while ago, because I know Buane went and did a Genis Cave pretty early, and I know in the past a lot of runners would like walk right over to the ledge just to check it out and get knowledge, but that's very uncommon, I've seen these days. All right, now Buane's gonna be heading into the desert proper now, and gonna probably see those gloves very quickly. Mitts, lifts, hand warmers.
What I'm very interested in is how Buane decided to move his mirror portal down a bit. I don't know if he just wants to do some more things in the Dark World, or what.
In any case, I'm sure both runners are very happy to see that item finally. Although I'm sure they are also wondering, where's that hammer?
Okay, I think chat's gonna point out here. Buane could do swamp. Check the first actual chest of swamp.
And big key on torch means you're not gonna be, finishing this dungeon. Because don't have any shoes. Haven't been to the shoe store.
But Buane is gonna go and grab the Titan's mitts off of the desert ledge. Now that does mean Ice Pals is in play. You can at least we're gonna check the item on Misery Mire, but if it's Bombos or Quake, we can at least enter Misery Mire, but can't finish it.
I couldn't see them pixels. Could you see them pixels?
I want to bet that was Bombos.
Yes, that is Bombos. I saw it better on Buane's side. Jet's had too few pixels for me.
Nothing in the Mire Shed. Outside of a shield and a bug net. Jet's gonna go and check out Checkerboard Cave. Buane also close by. Just a heart piece.
Yeah, once again, despite the runners' very different paths to get to this point, they were now on the same sort of linear progression for a while, and Jet's gonna take those gloves up the mountain. And we'll see where Buane flutes off to. Alright, also to the mountain, so Buane is still chasing Jet's tail as of right now.
Yeah, this is the Dark Death Mountain play. And we're also going to find out what is required for Turtle Rock.
I think at this point, if Hammer's in a dungeon somewhere, it's evil no matter what. You know, going into Swamp Palace without Hammer and it has to be in that first chest, or going into Ice Palace without Hammer and getting, you know, pretty deep in there and hoping to find it. Oh, there it is. Never mind. All right, we can stop worrying now.
So it's now just the fire rod and the bow. Potentially boots if GT decides to be, you know what, you're gonna go looking for the boots instead. And also bombos.
Alright, so we're set on medallions. Very good. Haven't
Also
seen a
Samaria.
medallion hunt in a seed in a while.
I almost forgot to the Samaria. We also need Samaria.
Yes. Can't do Turtle Rock without that. But at least with finding gloves and hammer first, there's a lot of places, you know, opened up that Samaria can be in.
Yep.
And it's not Hookshot Cave.
And Jet's looking like looks like Jet wants to go and do, first of all, Ether Tablet, but also probably wants to do Spike Cave. And there's the fire rod.
Alright, that's one down. Buane's also gonna get that very shortly.
So at this point, Ped can only have the Samaria and possibly a bow if GT does not have if GT has a bow in there. And Buane's going to do the Spike Cave play. And we're left with a single arrow.
La. Single arrow, not the pointy thing we're looking for. We're looking for the thing that shoots the pointy things.
To answer a question in chat, yes, the bow can be unped, but given the fact that version 31 has progressive bows, the only reason why it would be of use to go and grab the ped there is if GT has the other bow. If we find another bow there and ped has a bow, then the runners know not to go and grab it because they're fine with silverless Ganon. And since we are playing on advanced item placement, the game expects you to know silverless Ganon, while basic requires you to have silver arrows.
So in comparison to Jet taking their firepower, Bombos, and Fire Rod, and heading down to Ice Palace, Buane's gonna go finish off Skull Woods with that Fire Rod. So we're back on the divergence here.
Now, Buane will be able to check the pedestal afterwards, which really is not a bad idea. I'm more expecting 20 rupees or heart piece, whatever, but we're only down to a bow or Samaria. Now, if it's Samaria, then definitely it's a ped seed, but if it's a bow, then it really determines on where the other bow is at. Pretty quick Monthio flight for Buane. It's got the mirror out, so I'm assuming this will be the pet. Yeah, this will be the pet check.
And there's Bo, Ice Palace.
Well, that
yeah.
eliminates that. So at this point, it's either Samaria. If it's here, then is Magic Coin freezes everything. That is the Ether Medallion, and we don't need it. So yeah, pet's dead.
Pet is now dead. Unfortunately, Ether is not one of the medallions we need.
Probably an alternate timeline, but not in this case.
I'm sure after having a pet seed in their game 1A, they're quite appreciative. Wayne's quite appreciative that there's not another pet seed here. So Kane can still be in a lot of places. It can be in Swamp Palace. It could be, you know, in Misery Mire itself. You know, Vanilla Kane has been a thing many times. It can be in some of these leftover overworld checks that Blaine's doing right now at Smith Chain. The change from the set of game 1s was to a Sure Sword.
Yes. And Buane gonna go and take the bullfrog along with him.
Smack,
and
smack.
Doing hammer pegs.
Smack, 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 smack. I think every time Blaine's done hammer pegs in these 3 races, it's been slow pegs. Just a shield down there.
Yep. Smith's only giving out a heart container.
Wouldn't that be pretty squishy to hammer? You think heart containers are pretty, like, soft and pliable and maybe a little warm, too?
And Purple Chest only having a heart container. Buane making the stop over to Ice Palace.
So, as Jet drops down into the Mothula fight and probably gonna stab him quite easily, and Buane is heading through Ice Palace as Jet did earlier. I'll drop a reminder here to follow these 2 runners as they are extremely good and at what they do here in playing Randomizer. And also I know Buane is an NMG player as well, has a very solid time. I think Jet plays NMG as well, and NMG being the No Major Glitches category in Vanilla Link to the Past.
Yeah, definitely give these guys a very nice follow. Alright, Jet is gonna go and get the information about Ether being on pedestal.
And probably breathe a sigh of relief of not having to go back and dip into desert again after finding boots, because desert needs the boots to be finished. That would have been something if Ped was required and they needed the boots to do all that. Huh.
Yeah, and the boots can't be unpet in that regard anyway.
Well, it was more like if pedestal was required and Desert's big key is on the torch, which I think was checked. To beat Desert to get the pendant, you need the boots. And the boots are question mark right now.
Right. Alright, Jet is gonna go and clear out the rest of the dungeons that can do. That is Eastern Palace, being a crystal.
Always be clearing. You can do this, you can use the time to think. What's next? Do I make that swamp dive after this?
Now, one thing is clear that Pyramid Fairy will not have anything because that requires the Mire is the other 5/6 crystal, and Samaria can't be on there.
Yeah, Pyramid Fairy could have, like, something. Like powder or mushroom or cape or, you know, something like that that we don't have that is a unique item, but it's not going to be something required for go mode. Unless that thing happens where the big key is on the torch in Ganon's tower and the boots are on Pyramid Fairy.
Right, that is the one other possibility that would require the Pyramid Fairy to be done. One Armos Knight escaping Jet from doing the quick kill, but gets it down anyway. Synchronous Crystal gets.
Yeah, Jet heading back into Pendant Pod here. It looks like Buane's gonna do the same sort of thing. Actually doing... Or no, didn't do the portal. Sometimes I get the, what do you call it? The outside of Eastern and Pod a little mixed up because it's the same color. But,
Right.
yeah, Jet doing the pod clear here with the, bow, and Buane's just gonna do the basic old desert here. But that one item could be what we're looking for. It could be the Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, I think there is one more item left,
Mm-hmm.
and that's on Helmasar.
From what I've seen from both of these runners is they're pretty thorough clearers versus some other runners I've seen where they orphan an item or a location and they just keep going forward. They don't go back for it until it's literally the last location. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't, and that's the fun of Rando. And also showcasing the difference of playing 1 versus 1 compared to playing against a bunch of people in, say, like a daily or a qualifiers match. Knowing your opponent's strengths and how they play the game, and if they're going to play to their strengths and what they usually do, or if they're going to, you know, try to do something that they don't normally do to try to trick you into thinking, oh, they're going to do this because they always clear everything, and then they don't clear everything, and you end up behind. Rando is a mental game, and that's why it's awesome.
Yeah, and helmets aren't only giving out a single rupee. And looks like Jet might be wanting to do the Swamp Palace play.
And on the other side, Buane is going to do a Meyer dip. Possibly feeling a vanilla taste in the back of his mouth.
Now, both plays aren't bad. Jet will have the item density in this case, though.
Yeah, if Jet has the item density advantage here, just that more chests, more likely to find an item that you are looking for. However, if Samaria is in Meyer, then Buane can just go right in here and finish it off. Completely making up that time that Jet would be wasting checking Swamp if Swamp has nothing in it. On the other hand, if Kana Samara is not in Meyer and it is in Swamp, then Buane's gonna have to double dip, and Jet can just full clear it right away.
Right. But one thing is for certain, though, and is that it's not a Godmire. So Jet will have to spend a few more minutes or seconds, whatever, within Meyer.
At least this time they have fire rods. They don't need to push all the blocks and lantern light the shaky cutscene room torches.
Alright. Buane drops down into the cutscene chest. There's powder.
Alright, Magic Bat is in play.
Jet on the floated chests. There's the big key within the compass chest of Misery Meyer.
Alright, and there's the big key of Swamp for Jet in the waterfall room. That's gonna be a re-entrance to if Jet wants to check the big chest in Swamp after everything. And here, oh, just a shield and the big chest of Mire. We're out.
So that now leaves Buane with one other check, and that will be the magic bat outside of Swamp.
And Jet picking off the popcorn on Argus here. I almost did the same thing where someone mixed up Vitreous and Argus. Gonna be an easy kill from here on out. And there it is! Cane of Samaria on Argus, and I think that was about, like 119.55? Jet picked up last item for go mode. And Buane just entering Swamp Palace now, gonna be a bit behind just from that Mire dive, as discussed earlier, having to double dip Mire. Yes, we still might find boots somewhere to get the big Ganon's keyed torch, possibly. Oh, Buane's checking, Bat first. So I saw him go to start opening up, the Swamp Palace, but heading over to do this first, I guess, to get this out of the way.
Are you
Alright.
kidding me?
Boots on Bat. You now have Batman's shoes.
I just came back to Cane of Samaria on Argus, and then now this.
So, Buane, this is gonna make Buane check, Bonk Rocks. This is actually leading Buane away from where he needs to go, unfortunately.
Though, there is a chance that Jet might have to... since Jet will be going to GT pretty soon, after clearing out Mire and Turtle Rock, it's possible that Big Key on Torch is possible. That would give Buane the advantage here, because that means he would have to find the powder. Jet would have to find the powder, which was in the cutscene chest.
Yeah, it's a small possibility, but it is, of course, a possibility because this is Rando. Buane, are you going to clear desert?
Speed to play here.
Alright, yeah, committing to boots being the progression at this point. Unfortunate, but sometimes that's how it be. When you find an item, you run with it.
However, Jet decided to go check the compass chest first, and not go to cutscene chest. Oh, there's silver arrows. Now, the reason why I bring up the fact that Jet does not have Bobber to get the powder in the cutscene chest, Buane will still have a possibility, even after he's not, even if he's clearing out Panda dungeons here, looking for the Samaria. If Jet does not go back to Meyer and find if GT finds out if GT turns out to be the big key is on the torch, Jet will have to spend more time looking for what essentially boils down to the powder and Meyer to get to Magic Bat for the boots. So Buane still has a chance.
It's very tiny, but the chance exists, and it all depends on Ganon's Tower Big Key. Buane might also be thinking, 'cause this is green pendant, that Kane's on green pendant. Because probably would have known, been keeping item count here, known that land moles didn't have anything. So just getting that green pendant, and gonna flute over to... Yep, fluting over to nearby Shashrala's house.
Alright, Jet on the way over to Turtle Rock. And Buane is going to make the Swamp House play. Okay. Jet's gonna open up the Turtle Rock. And to answer a question in chat, the Cane of Samaria was found on Argus within Swamp Palace.
Yeah, Kane is very far into Swamp. Not the farthest item, technically, depending on if Buane, like, gets the big key and doesn't check the big chest, because that's what Jet did. Jet just abandoned the big chest. We'll see. It could be, technically the farthest item in Swamp. It also does it on the left side. I don't know if left side was required for, any sort of logic or whatnot. Probably not. We'll see here how Buane decides to route through this. As Jet rides the Samaria platforms through Turtle Rock. Right, good, Buane. Buane not making the huge gamble of checking left side Swamp just in case. instead heading right down into the depths.
Buane's approaching Argus. Gonna grab the can of Samaria. He will most certainly be in go mode, just regardless if he finds out that the key is on the torch. So that will be a bonus for Buane.
And at 1:30:11, Buane is now in go mode, not even picking up the pendant in Swamp. Hey, it saves time. It works. At least I think it saves time. The extended save and quit load screen at the start there might have evened it out now, but.
So the good news for Buane is that he can just go straight to the back of Smire. Doesn't have to worry about full clearing it because he already full cleared it before looking on the search for looking for the can of Samaria. And Jack is on their way over to the Trinex fight. All right.
Beautiful, clean Trinex fight there from Jet.
All right, everybody. In this tower, there are 22 locations where the big key could potentially be. It's also possible it's on Torch. From 1 to 22, get your guesses in chat where you think the big key might be. And I'm going to go 7.
I'm gonna go with 15.
Of course, it's always possible that the big key could be on the Torch. In that case, Jet will have at least a Turtle Walk climb, a Turtle Walk time in order to get that boots. But 21 chests and a torch separates Jets from the big key. Let's do this.
heading to the right first. I think this is Jet's preferred direction, and that's a 1. And that's a 2, and no small key, so we're gonna head back to the left.
So, will Jets be safe, or will Blaine have a slight advantage? Will have an advantage here. No, Jet is in full-on go mode.
Alright, that's it. We are completely going here. Well, I mean, Jet's just gonna walk the rest of the way, because it doesn't have any boots on, but, we're safe.
Four, number 5, number 6, number 7,
So many small keys.
and Jet electing to just go full left after doing the right check. Oh, that is it. Okay, never mind. That's how, yeah, torch does count.
Yeah, it's been 8 so far as of the fire bar room.
Right.
Next stop is Randomizer room.
And the reason why it's called randomizer room is because you never go to this room outside of the randomizer.
There's a mushroom.
Yeah, we're up to
That.
13.
I guess if you want a snack on the way up the tower, but I don't think I'd eat that mushroom.
No, I don't want to grow big.
Having to bomb jump this gap here to take the shortcut, because no boots, can't bonk. Alright, Bob, let's get your chest, it's nothing. So 14 chest heading into the Ice Armos fight.
Alright, number 15, 16, and 17. Number 15 is going to be the map. Number 16 is a key. Number 17 is the big key.
Oh, it was close. I could have had it if you didn't check the bottom chest first and check the right chest first.
And looks to be Magios winning the big key guessing game, getting a cool 41 points. Others of notes are Tilda Orb, 8-Bit Knit Nerd, Maple Toothpick, and that's all. They also get a bonus 5 points for that. Congratulations.
Same spot as last night, apparently. Nice.
Yep. And congratulations, you're now on the leaderboard. this will be a very breezy gauntlet room for Jet with that gold sword in hand. Jet's preparing for land mode 2. An excellent zero cycle for Buane on the Trinex fight.
Yeah, I blinked and Gauntlet was done. So Jet heading up the... As soon as I'm complimenting Jet on heading up the tower in style, he gets bonked by a guard. I'm sorry, Jet. It was my fault. I'll take the responsibility for this. As Buane gets his final crystal at 1 hour 40 minutes in.
Yeah, but Jet still climbing the tower. Still has a good advantage. The only thing that would suck is if, well, that. But, if he falls to Mold Arm 2 or takes a Ganon fall.
And we'll see, you know, how much wider or thinner this gap gets depending on Buane's routing through the tower. You know, if he goes full left without even touching the right, or if he touches right and goes left and gets a key and comes back and goes to the right, how long that'll take in his chest count.
Yeah, GT routing will be a deciding factor if Buane will be able to catch up, or if Jet will continue to extend his lead. But he is going left. Buane is going left. And Jet does not need to check any more chests at this point. He's already decked out from like all the other seeds following this. Especially in this set. Down goes Moldorm 2. He's already loaded up. I'm gonna go just see if he wants to find silver arrows there. Nope, just 10 arrows. We're good to go. Alright, I got 2 fights. Here we go. Nice double.
Nice position on that last one, although it really wasn't needed for the triple.
That was 1-1-2-2. And Buane did do Dark Magician strats, or Fake Magician, whatever. But now Jet is off to fight Ganon.
That's just being rude, not letting Buane grab it. Alright, so Butter Sword, but no Silver's Ganon. So the first couple phases are going to go down real fast here. Then we go into the teleport phase. Hopefully that won't take too long. And then it'll be sword spins. And it's all up to execution with the sword spins of hitting Ganon on that right frame when he is vulnerable to being hit by the sword and not freezing him.
Yeah, it's all based on frames on when Ganon can be vulnerable when doing Silverless Ganon. It is possible to hit him even without sword spins, but the frame window is smaller compared to that. Jet making sure he has torch glitch enabled. Alright, setting up for the triple on Jet's side. Okay.
That was close.
And that will do it. Get your GGs in chat for Jet. And all he has to do to take this series is cross a 1x3 bridge. And that will do it. And Jet has finished in first place and wins the series with beneficial SRL time of 1:44.55. What a incredible run for Jet.
Hey guys.
Hi, Jet.
Oh man, I want boots. I'm so upset that I tuned into the restream after I'm done. And Buane has boots. I'm like,
He went to the shoe store.
Ugh.
Bought some shoes. No, they were... I guess you call it a shoe store. Just traded some powder into the bat, and bat gave him shoes.
man, he told me that, and there was powder was in mire. That's right. So
Yeah, cussing chest.
I actually did think about when I was in that mire area, scoping things out. I'm like, you know, it'd be funny if it was vanilla cane. Like maybe I should dip into mire, but I had too much else to do. So I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna leave. I'm not gonna take that chance. So
Yeah, there was that point after Desert was done where you got like the Titan's mitts and everything. It was like, okay, where's the divergence happening? And then you both went to Dark Death Mountain, I believe. And I think it was that divergence where you went swamp and Buane went mire, and it's like, okay, it's gonna be one of these.
yeah, after I got hammer and fire rod too, just getting them back to back, I'm like, time to just do dungeons. Like I want to do the crystal dungeons, see how that works out. And yeah, I hate like pendant dungeons when you just have to get one item. It feels bad. Like you're starting to do them, you have no idea what your opponent is doing. You're like, am I making the right call? And I'm like, I really did need Kane to be at swamp because I felt like if it wasn't there, I was probably losing this race. So Argus dropping, I'm like, okay, maybe that's good. But yeah, this whole seed just felt awful the whole time. Like it was pretty much linear up until mitts. There was nothing in Dark World when you first get there except going to get Book, which was like, you could have gotten it at the beginning, but, you know, I did the long walk around because I want to check everything. That's sort of my rule. If Aga is my access to Dark World, I'm going to check all of the things because I've had seeds in the past where it's like, mitts or something were in pod and I decided to skip pod until later, and then it would have been nice if I had gotten it earlier. So I'm just like, you clear all the things because you don't know where your hammer or your second glove is. But yeah, just there was nothing. Well, there was bombos and pod, and I didn't need that until later.
Yeah, I think I commented on that. Just having watched your previous matches, you are very much a person who gets everything. You are one of the more thorough racers as compared to people who will orphan an area and just keep going forward.
I did orphan Spike Cave though, and I forgot until after the fact. I'm like, wait, I got fire rod, I got my hammer. It's because I didn't really fully process. I got hammer up at Death Mountain, and I could have went in the Spike Cave. So I was really hoping Kane was not at Spike Cave, because I'm like, I screwed that one up. But I lucked out.
Buane's gonna try and do no. But the single arrow was in Spike Cave.
Single arrow. I needed that. I could kill Ganon with it. With my lack of silvers.
Yes, that helps so much. When hovering it. Nope.
Oh, so close.
It was close, yes.
So all of my matches with Buane were pretty close, I think. I would have loved us to tie again, because that would have been something.
Yeah, that would have. Oh, getting bumped off by Moldrum there. That would have been hilarious for another tie and going to possible game 5 or whatever.
And looks like, or he's going Fairy, yeah, but he's opted to forfeit from the race.
Darn Fairy not letting him finish in style.
There we go.
Get your GGs in chat for Buane. Very solid set of 3 races here between these 2 runners. So Jet, here on out, for your rest of your tournament, how are you feeling at this point?
Respect to all of the runners I've faced so far. They're all very good. I mean, we made it into this bracket stage. Buane was definitely the toughest I feel like the toughest that I faced so far. I think maybe there's some similarities in how we route, and of course, he's amazing at the speed run of the game, any percent, and the recent world record. What was it? 100% he just got yesterday, I think. So, like that was definitely my concern here. So, I'm feeling good, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, looking at the brackets from here, you'll be facing the winner of P-Train and Yagamoth.
That's going to be an interesting one. Whoever wins that one's going to be...
Yeah, they start their matches today, actually. In quite soon, actually. Their first game starting up very soon. And yeah, Yagamoth, I've noticed, has been on a tear throughout this tournament.
Yeah, sorry, it's all dungeons restricted major glitches that he got the world record in yesterday.
And we are now also joined by Buane, GG, on a series of 3 very interesting seeds.
Interesting is a good word. GG Jet.
Trying to be positive
GG
here.
Buane.
Yeah, I mean, you can't play Randomizer and then be unhappy with some of the randomized results that you get. So, you know, that's not going to make anybody happy. But
I could be unhappy that I feel like every seed we've played has gotten worse and worse.
yeah,
I mean, I'm really worried what a game 4 would have had us do, because this was painful.
three straight hours, no boots, and then finding the boots only to have it basically be a 7-minute time sink was, I guess, the insult on top of injury there. But yeah, I mean, it's they're okay. So we're making a big deal. You know, we didn't have boots this whole time. You just had 2 straight seeds where you didn't get boots at all. You know, that's not anybody's dream. But you know, there are bootsless seeds that are not so bad. The seeds we've had these last 2 have been really mean-spirited. So that just kind of adds another layer on top of it. But,
right. It wasn't the lack of boots so much as how we got into Dark World, had to get mitts. Like, that whole process, that didn't feel good. And you're walking the whole time.
There's just the interesting part of this game is being put in some spots where you have to kind of figure out what, you know, you have a bunch of decisions to make. And seeds like this, you don't really have any, you know, you're kind of on rails. All right, we did Aga. Now you have to basically do everything in your way. You're not getting any more items. So you're basically being led, I have to go do this next because nothing else makes sense. I have to go do this because nothing else makes sense. And then eventually you get in a spot where it's like, well, now I'm out of good things to do and I get to choose from all the bad things. And there's just, you know, there are seeds that I lose by 15 minutes where I'm like, this was a lot of fun. I like this seed a lot. I don't care that I lost by 15 minutes. And then there are seeds that, you know, you win and you're like, God, I hated this seed. This was so awful to play. And playing randomizer, you're going to get a mix of both. Just I guess a little unfortunate we got a couple of these right in a row here, but either way, great series to Jet, and anybody at this level, anybody in the brackets really. Forget about it at this point, but anybody who made the brackets is capable of taking down anybody else. So, way back at the beginning, I think after the first bracket game in the interview, we were saying, the winner of the tournament is just going to be the guy that gets luckiest, or the guy that goes the longest without getting unlucky. So that's kind of the skill level of everybody. You can lose any matchup to any player, and I'm happy to have gone out to somebody who's a top-notch player as well. So that's fun to get this far, and I get to sit on the sidelines and watch the rest.
Yeah. So, any final thoughts on the seed before we close things out?
It would have been nice to finish, but I was a little tilted, so we let it go after the hover didn't get anywhere.
Yeah, very, very nice almost hover there. I think a couple more tries, and Moldorm being mean there, knocking you off on the third attempt there. Would have gotten it. I always just love seeing, funsies hovers, as I like to call them at the end there. Just do them.
Really, everything after the torch was like, okay, I don't see a way to win this, so we're just going to play it out till we see the dot done. And my plan was really forfeit after the dot done, and I was like, well, I just got the big key. I could do GT, and I was not having just let it go at that point. Like, why torture myself, right?
Yeah, after how these set of seeds treated you with, required agonyms and pedestal seeds, and probably the nicest thing all three seeds did is they gave you butter sword and red mail.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh man, yeah, the fast gold swords we were getting, that was crazy.
I mean, a short sword, I think it's almost guaranteed you're going to get butter. But yeah, we had 2 Aga required seeds. I had 2 bootsless seeds of our series of 3. It's just, we had generated some interesting seeds for us.
Yeah, and they're not even like the good kind of Aga seeds. Like sometimes you get an Aga seed, and as soon as you hit the Dark World, okay, now I've got good Dark World access. The first one, we had to do everything before Aga because we had flute and boots, and it was like, okay, well, all these stupid little checks, it feels real bad if one of them's a glove, and it's just some weird ones. And I feel like, if you want to call the two of us 2 top tier players, which whatever, I'm rolling my eyes as I say that. If you want to call the 2 of us top tier players, it's fun to be in a spot where you're making decisions, your decisions versus somebody else's decisions. And, a lot of these seeds just didn't come down to that many decisions. And that feels a little disappointing. But like I said, you can't play rando and then complain when things are random. So I had fun. The tournament was a lot of fun, and the rest of it's going to be a blast, I'm sure. And hopefully Jet can just go and take down the title.
I would love that, but we'll see what happens. Like you said, it's sort of based on luck. Whoever ends up routing the future seeds correctly. I do want to say that you guys in chat, if you haven't followed Buane, you should do so. You should go take a look at his new world record run from yesterday. What was it? All dungeons, major glitches.
Yeah, almost broken today if I hadn't choked it. That was a great warm up for this race, but. Well, that's very generous of you, by the way, Jet. Play some rando, play some other stuff on stream, and follow Jet too, because I've watched along in Jet's stream, and the guys you want to watch when you're a fan of rando, if you're not watching a big race on speed gaming, are the guys that are talking through their decisions, letting you inside their mind, and Jet's one of the fun guys to watch, because you're getting a real insight into what he's doing, why he's doing it, and so yeah, give him a follow too. Don't just give me a follow.
Thanks.
Yeah, give both of them a nice hearty follow, and also give a nice hearty follow to our tracker, Iceman F1. You did an excellent job today. And of course, Karaoke and I definitely give us a follow. Coming up down the pipeline, we have a match on Speed Gaming 2 and Speed Gaming 5. Speed Gaming 2 is P-Train versus Yagamov. And Speed Gaming 5 is Zelda Dasan versus Illis.
Yeah, as we were all saying, both very solid matches heading on. So I hope you have 2 monitors to put both up. And continue following all of the Speed Gaming family channels, vanilla through 5 for, more Link to the Past randomizer action, as well as many other tournaments and showcases happening as well throughout the coming days. And so I think with that, we'll let you all guys go and, pick one of those other races to watch, or get on with your day. Thank you all for hanging out in chat. We love you. And Professor Renderer, thank you for joining me on commentary as well.
No problem. So take it easy, everybody.
All right. So have a nice day.